What is up, guys? This is the Flamespot here, and this is another LEGO mock video. And this is on my LEGO castle, which if you saw in my last LEGO mock video, which was Star Wars, that was a mini mock, then you would have had a sneak glimpse at this mock. And I finally feel like it is presentable. So let's check it out. Now, this mock was made with my somewhat limited pieces. This is basically all the pieces I have, and I had to buy more, and yeah, it was pretty expensive too, but it was alright. And so now let's get on to the main battle, and it starts off with the main gate, battle at the main gate. And before we get into looking at this, even though you can see it right now, you're going to look at the two commanders. Now, these commanders are the Dragon Knight Commander and the Wolf Knight Commander, and they're attacking the Lion Knights and the Castle Knights. The Lion Knights and the Castle Knights are defending this city, which is a merchant city, so it's major. It's really important to the Lion Knights and Castle Knights, which are allies. So they want to keep it, and that's why the Dragon Knights and Wolf Knights want to attack it, because it's major to them and they're in war. So these are the generals and their mighty steeds, just looking at the battle and looking at the situation at hand. So now let's go into the battle. So as you can see, there's cavalry rushing in behind the infantry, and everyone's clashing together, and there's just like a lot of battle and everything like that. So as you can see, there's just many people charging in at this small little force, the division, which are trying to keep the main gate safe, make sure no one goes in. And so, since this is a major trade city, we need people, and like strong people. So including paladins right here. They're in an epic formation, like 2 axes and a sword. This is how they look. It's awesome. Many generals and commanders, and they're all throughout the map. So there's a lot of important people in the city. That's another reason why the Wolf Knights and the Dragon Knights want to take it. So there's just a lot of carnage going on. So there's cavalry that's just coming in everywhere. You might have seen, actually, in this battle scene, there are 2 spears inside of some people. This guy got speared in the stomach, and that person got speared on his face. Now, you might be like, well, some guy just threw random spears in the battle, but I don't see spears, like anyone's holding a spear. Well, that's just because the Castle Knights in this mock right now are all spear throwers. So they're throwing spears from the walls, and I'm gonna get back to the walls in a couple of minutes. So these guys are just like getting destroyed by the spears on the wall. And so, are they going to defend, or are the attackers going to succeed and try to break down the gate? Who knows? So, by the way, this is part 1 of, I hope, 3 parts, maybe. Please comment if you want to see more of these. But I'll go back to the mock. So moving on, we have the siege weapons part. So there's like a little catapult right here, with a man like sort of arming the catapult, another guy, and there's a little siege shooter. Like, if you've seen Lord of the Rings, this is actually a set from Lord of the Rings. So I thought it was perfect because it looks like a siege weapon and it's assaulting the walls. So siege weapon, walls getting destroyed, sounds good in a mock. And over here there's a weapons cart, and this guy is getting weapons from the cart and rushing into battle probably. Now as we look forward, we see on the walls there's like a lot of guys. And you wonder what they're doing if they're just rushing towards the wall. It's pretty senseless. But that's because there's a siege ladder. Now, these two guys are like, oh man, we're going to get on the walls first, and we're going to kill all the people on the walls, and we're going to be famous and be remembered. Well, too bad. There's a merchant right here who's also wanting to protect his goods, so he joined the battle, and he's about to pour a boiling pot of hot water or oil, or whatever is in there. It looks pretty fiery, onto these poor attackers. They don't know what's coming. Except for the guy on top. He probably knows what's coming. He's like, no! So, yep. As we're moving along, there's like a little stream right here. Sorry if my finger gets in the way. There's a little stream right here that comes out of the castle and goes on to the distance. Also, you can see a little bridge connecting the two sides between the stream. Now, on this side of the water, there is a little forest area, and this is where all of the attacking archers are. So they're pretty hidden because they don't want to be seen, and so they're all in the trees, behind the trees, around the trees, in the trees, on top of the trees. So, yep, those are the archers trying to take people out on the wall. Now, as you saw, there's men rushing across this bridge and trying to get to the other side. Well, why might you want to get to the other side, someone may ask? Right? Yeah, someone probably did ask that, I hope. Well, they're trying to attack this one force right here. Now, another person might ask, why is there a force trying to defend right here, other than trying to, like, flank around? Well, one, that is, like, probably a good idea, but that's not the main thing. Now, before the attack, the Dragon Knights and Wolf Knights got intel that there was... Oops. This is going to be hard. A weak part of the base. And that's not it. Here it is. This part is really weak in the base. And so the Dragon Knights and Wolf Knights sent a small force to try to mine it out or destroy it or somehow get inside of the castle and assault from the inside, which would make it very hard for the Lion Knights and Castle Knights to defend. So this place is covered in shrubs and flowers and trying to make it not noticeable. So that's another reason why these knights are trying to defend this area. So here is another look at the battlefield, the outside of the battlefield, and just a small overview, and that's good. Now going on to the walls, but before I go on to like who's on the wall, just wanted to say something about the outside of the walls. Now this design, it was very simple. It was just like a small little gap inside, but since I don't actually have that many pieces of the same thing that have a lot of random pieces, I tried to make it so this looked well, but it also was unique by itself. So I actually have made my own little color scheme. Sorry about zooming in. And I have just made a small little thing out of the small pieces that I have. And I tried to get enough, and I somewhat had enough pieces to actually make this small little design on this wall. So for those people who are out there who don't have that many pieces, it still is possible to make something look good, as long as it's not the color that you want. But as long as it's the actual piece that you need, it could look good in the end. So I thought this looked cool. And if you look at the wall, progressively going more towards the right, it gets more raggedy and grayish, and that's because there is a mountain or a huge boulder that is actually inside of the wall, connected to the wall. Again, thinking with the pieces part, because I don't have that many pieces, I want to make this whole entire side of the castle a giant like mountain. Except since I didn't have that many pieces, I just decided to make it like a little rock and made it look cool, like at least look cool, even though it was small. Instead of having something super bland but making it like bigger, I'd rather have something look cool and smaller. So there's also like a little stream coming out of the mountain. So that's basically it for the design on the wall. Just a small part. The rest is just stacked up bricks. So let's get on to the wall now. Now, like I was saying, most of the castle knights are spear throwers. So there are spear throwers everywhere, and there's some archers, but from the lion knights, and but they're mainly spear throwers. So here's spear thrower. There's spear thrower. This guy's actually getting a spear from this little barrel. Like, I have many barrels of spears like all across the wall, so that more guys can get more spears once they're done. Now this is a guy from Lord of the Rings. I just thought that he looked cool. Also, during the battle, there are orcs and monsters in the battle, because I just thought more people make it look better, and also they blend in with the same colored armor. So I thought they looked cool, so I just added them. Also on the walls, there are the colors of the different alliances that are both at this city, so that it knows that the Lion Knights and the Castle Knights both protect here, since it has the colors. There are many more spear throwers, more barrels of spear throwers. This whole entire wall of spear throwers. It's pretty cool, actually. Now over here there's a commander, and he's like raising his sword and giving the order to fire to all these archers. And they're just gonna rain down on this battle scene right here and try to not hit the friendly troops. Now, if we go more over to the left wall, this is just another wall that goes around the city now. So it's another part. And this right here, this is the commander's quarters. So there's a little cup and some food and a little scroll right here, and his chair. So I thought that was pretty cool of him to have his own quarters. Now on this wall, it's actually the biggest part of the wall that I could actually get. Like, it's wide and it's the widest part of the wall. And so I could put some people in, and also there could be an inside. So there could be an inside. Excuse my dog if you heard him. So yeah, so there's a little ladder that comes up to the wall, and there's knights trying to get up here. So that's mainly the whole entire wall on the outside. Now, let's go to the inside of the base. The inside of the base isn't as impressive as the outside of the base, but it still looks better. It looks cool. Now, before I made this battle, because I just wanted to make a battle randomly one day, I actually had everyone inside, and there was like many activities going on, but I took it down because I just wanted to do something else. So if we're starting from the now right to left, there's a little stand with some weapons on it, another guy riding mouse, probably dinner someday if this siege goes on too long. And as we're getting towards the center, there is a axeman, but more importantly, there's a catapult. So this is the defender's catapult, so they can probably move it and towards the attackers and try to get some people out, or towards the commander, which is actually pretty bad to do, disrespectful, or try to damage the attacker siege weapons. So that's probably really cool. That's really cool about the inside. Also, if you see right here on the gate, there are some boxes stacked up, so even if they do break through, then they will, then they can't get through, the attackers can't get through the gate. If the defenders try to retreat, they'll actually go around the side of this wall. Well, there be another ladder that's set out by some of these guys, and they could get out that way. And so over here there's the stairs that lead up to the main battlements, to most of the action. So there's 2 soldiers coming up and everything like that. Some other soldiers just in the courtyard, just running to the stairs or to another point to go somewhere. Now right here, like I said, this was a merchant city. So these are like little merchants, and those are their goods, trade goods. And the merchants are armed with a few things like stones, dull swords, and a knife, spear. So these are just things that they found, and if the attackers broke through, then they could defend themselves and their goods. Which hopefully that wouldn't happen for their sake. Now, this is another reason, another thing that this is a trade city. So there's like a little market thing right here. So this is just a little shop, and it's just right there. I thought it looked pretty cool. There's like a little ladder that can also help you get onto the walls if you needed to. But he's probably like a food seller to all these guys. So, yep, and here's a little tree. I really like this tree. It's pretty. There's some flowers next to it. And this guy is rushing out to outside to help his little, to help the division that's going to defend the side. Now this part right here, this little castle thing, it's actually a set. This is the only set that I used, to build the wall. But everything else I built with just regular bricks or just random pieces or just things I found. So this is the only part of the wall that I actually had to use a set with. So I'm looking around, and that's pretty much everything on this castle. I'll give you another look from different angles. Oops, sorry. This is a little shaky. I'm using my hands with this camera. And so, if you notice that this is the new base plate. I wish they didn't switch the base plates. I just needed one more. And of course, that's the time when they switched it. So, it's not all the same color. I'm sad. I don't like this new green. I like the old green. And so, here's a look on the inside of the base. The wall. The battle. Generals. Siege weapons. Pond. Outside. And now if you notice that there's like a blue thing and books that are actually holding up my base plates, these are actually the things I keep my Lego steady on. So like when I move them, they have to have some sort of base. So I just have random hardcover books and stuff from my childhood and just a ping pong board. Well, from a set. Ping pong thing. I don't know. Yeah, so here's just another look. Oop. The light just went out. And I'd like to wrap it up a bit. So, if you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe for more of these videos. Now, how these videos are being made is that there's probably going to be, like I said, hopefully 3 parts of this series. So, I'm making like this a series. So, this is the first part where they're first attacking the walls, and maybe more that to come, where the knights chase away the defenders chase away the attackers, or the attackers are actually breaching the gate. It doesn't matter. It's up to you guys. So if you comment, then I might take into consideration on what's going to happen. But I have an idea already in my head what's going to happen. But again, if you like this, please like. And for more videos like this, just keep on watching. And have a great day, and this is the Flamespot signing out.